Wow! Recognize that music? We all know that, don't we? It's the theme from Samurai Cop. I think I heard that same theme played on a Hammond organ at the Flyover Lounge in the Holiday Inn Airport in Salt Lake City. Wonder if it's the same guy. All right, I'm Joe Bob Briggs, world's foremost expert on the drive-in movie. Actually, the world's only expert on the drive-in movie. And today we have an oddity from the fabulous 80s, the time when just about anything you wanted to film could end up on the screen. And we're going to prove that with Samurai Cop. We had kind of a golden age of ultra-low-budget filmmaking between 1984 and about, 1990. And, look, it is the same guy, Alan Dermer-Derassian. Who could forget that name? Best Armenian keyboard player at all the resorts on the Black Sea. Yeah, doesn't he work with a big silicone-hootered sidekick named Heather? Check them out. The mellow sounds of Alan Plus One, now appearing at the Showboat Atlantic City in the bus station waiting room. Okay, plunging right in. Here we go. We don't have established gang yet.
Be very cautious.
This is the ancient screenwriting principle of beginning our story in medias res, establishing the lack of an established gang, because if you'll notice, the gang is just three people standing by a swimming pool at the Encino Recreational Center or something. That's Robert Zadar explaining about the difference between the Chinese gangs and the Japanese gangs. And there's an actress named Cameron. Her job is basically to say, here comes the boss, like she just did. And later she's going to pop those pineapples out of the chute. Otherwise, why would have a girl in the gang, right? And that, believe it or not, is the boss. Now, is it my imagination, or is the boss about 4'8" and his henchman is 4'6"? Fujiyama, the sadistic gang leader who says, the hell with the Japanese and Chinese gangs, just kill them all. And that's the way I like to start an action movie. Somebody saying, kill as many as you have to. And here's Robert Zadar explaining that they have to fight because it's the order of katana. Katana. That's the Japanese word for sword. We know that from The Last Samurai, right? I think Tom Cruise stole everything from this movie. I mean, look at the evidence. This came out in 1989. There's Tom Cruise using katana in 2003. I rest my case. Okay, here we are in Little Tokyo, I think, or Chinatown, evidently at 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning because the streets are empty. Two more members in the gang now, 5 people in the gang, and the two gangs approach each other for a chat. One gang comes out of a utility closet under the stairwell. It's that wily Mr. Lee. Why did Robert Zadar's voice change into a demon with throat cancer there? And what did Mr. Lee say? There's a lot of gravelly voiced accents in this baby. Okay. Oh, thank God they stopped talking and started killing one another. But look, they're speeding up the film. That's cheating. Pretty good kung fu moves, though, I have to say. Oh, good twitchy dying move there.
The job's done.
What? That was it? That was the whole gang battle? What was that, an 18-second kung fu gang battle? Okay, this is the star of the movie, with the shadows completely covering his face over there on the right side. Guy with the hair, the Chippendales dancer guy. Matt Hannon is the Samurai Cop. You remember the career of Matt Hannon, right? This was the first in a series of one role for Matt. The black sidekick guy is Mark Fraser. And, as I was saying before the action-packed first scenes, between about 1984 and 1990, we had a golden age of the ultra-low budget. And whenever you have a golden age, you also have a silver age and a bronze age, and in this case, a counterfeit peso age. But it's all part of the brilliant mosaic we know and love as the world of gonzo filmmaking. Now, they used the name Samurai Cop apparently because Robert Zadar is in the movie. And Robert Zadar had recently become famous as Maniac Cop. Remember that one? You have the right to remain silent forever. And aren't these fascinating long shots of downtown L.A.? What do? Put the camera on top of a Volkswagen Beetle and drive it around downtown L.A.? And Matt says,
Peggy, where are you?
Let's call for the helicopter. That's what I would do if I saw a parked van full of drugs on the street. That was a quick shot of Melissa Moore there in the chopper. They don't do much in the way of establishing the characters in this movie. They need Melissa for the first helicopter-oriented drug bust, but that was her, fairly famous 80s scream queen. For some reason, she does not put this movie on her resume. They obviously rented a helicopter for the day, needed to use it. So, anyway, I was explaining about the Robert Z'Dar marketing connection to the movie. Maniac Cop was actually a non-speaking role, but that didn't prevent writer-director Amir Shervan from giving Z'Dar top billing in Samurai Cop, which actually has nothing to do with Maniac Cop, and furthermore, Z'Dar doesn't play the Samurai Cop. He's not a samurai or a maniac. He's the number 2 henchman of Fujiyama, and Matt Hannon is the Samurai Cop, even though he doesn't look so much like a samurai as a pool boy. It's all very confusing. And this, believe it or not, is what Amir Shervan calls a chase scene. Notice that you never see the van and the police car in the same shot. We got a freeway, the interior of a car, the interior of a helicopter, downtown LA, overhead shot of a marina, and now listen to this.
Boats in the marina. How am I supposed to know which one's carrying the coke?
Just keep an eye on the van, Peggy. I'm well informed there's a large suitcase full of coke in the back. They're gonna make the swap somewhere in the marina.
It's not just coke,
Just stick close
it's a
to
suitcase full of coke.
Okay, Joe. Keep it up.
Oh, it's up and ready. You just keep it warm.
It's warm and ready.
Was that supposed to be some kind of sexual banter in the middle of the drug bust? I think it was. And she said it with such conviction. It's warm and ready. And you know, those helicopters do vibrate a lot, though. So, and I don't know about you, but if I were about to do a drug deal, I think I just might notice a police helicopter making noise overhead,
Hey
wouldn't
guys,
you?
I think we're getting close. There's a boat headed full speed towards the van.
Good, good. Just follow.
How can you tell that a boat
Try to stay out of
is
sight,
headed
Peggy. I
full
don't want you
speed
steering them
toward a
off.
Got
van?
it, Joe.
Plus, we just saw the boat pull alongside another boat at about 2 miles an hour. Isn't this boat leaving? This is great police work, though, because send 2 guys in plain clothes in a really crappy car to take out armed thugs in a van and a boat full of dope dealers. Oh, wait, I forgot. They're not just cops. They're samurai cops. Have they mentioned that they're samurai cops yet? I don't think so. Shouldn't we have a little exposition scene on that? Okay, this shot right here is just to show us how tough the bad guys are. 2 armed thugs crouching in the back of a van. That Peggy is on the case, isn't she? Important detail about Southern California drug deals, they're always done in broad daylight on exposed piers at crowded marinas. With bad luggage. Let's see, I'll give you this clarinet case. You give me that 1944 American Tourister traveling bag with the yellow spot on it. And, oh yeah, don't forget your suit bag. And of course, like all drug dealers, don't they all do this? You wave goodbye as you depart. Now, where are our 2 samurai doofuses while this is going on? Shouldn't they be making the arrest right about here at the point when the drug dealers are getting away? Oh, here they are, screeching up to the edge of the marina where there are no boats and getting out of the car like they have no idea where they are. Yeah, let's kind of hunker down behind this telephone pole here and stare at the gangsters while they run to the van. That'll give them a better chance to get away. So let me get this straight. They knew about the drug deal in advance. They knew what kind of vehicle the buyers were in. They spotted the boat that was selling the drugs. They saw the deal happen, and now the boat is leaving and the van is leaving. Yeah, this is just the way they draw it up at the police academy, isn't it? So now they have to chase them down.
We'll have to come by this way. It's the only road out.
Oh, they do have a plan. The way the samurai cop said that, you could just feel the adrenaline pumping through his veins, couldn't you? So there's only one way out of the marina. You know what I'd do? Hide my car behind a warehouse, creep to the edge of the building, Then run back to the car when I realize that the bad guys had a car, but I'm on foot. Then drive out in front of the drug-laden gunman, daring them to broadside my early model sagging piece of crap Chevy, point my weapon at the driver, who has no way of knowing I'm a cop because I look like a gay poster boy in a muscle magazine, and then chase him down. They speeded up the film again, didn't they? It avoids all those troublesome problems you have when you just drive fast, you know? Oh, that was the obligatory, that's supposed to be a fruit stand, actually. You're supposed to have the car mow down a fruit stand, but that was good, too. The guy lost control, had to wipe out 3 or 4 cardboard boxes. Obviously a desperate man. And now we have the running gun battle in which the bad guys throw the door of the van wide open and frame themselves for target practice. That was the first one down there. And actually, this is the nicest special effect in the whole movie. Roadkill. Matt Hannon really sells that shot, too, with that wide-eyed look on his face. Frank wanted to call for backup there. Did you catch that? But Samurai Cop thinks everything is under perfect control. Don't you just love this music, though? Basically the same 4 bars we've been hearing for the last 15 minutes, right? Notice that the Samurai Cop keeps ordering Frank to shoot. Otherwise, I guess Frank would just sit there, take incoming fire.
Yeah, I got the best.
By the way, how did we get from the marina to a residential neighborhood to some lonely mountain highway? And what is Peggy doing all this time? Looks like she's grooving on some FM light or something in that shot. The dialogue is great here, too. Shoot! Go! Shoot! Go! Shoot him! Go! Faster! That's a new one, actually. Go faster. Here's a pretty nice stunt. Oh. Guy pops out of a moving van, goes rolling down the hill. That's a $200 stunt, I'm telling you. I do give credit where credit is due. But wait a minute, weren't there just 2 gunmen in the van when we saw it at the marina? They've already killed 3 guys, so who's driving? Now here's some nice police work. Watch this. Reach out the window and fire 5 times at random. You get the impression they're just kind of driving around in circles here? How many bullets does he have in that gun? Okay. Van blows up. You think it's over, but wait. Burning Man! Actually, if you look closely, just the back of him is burning. They only had money for half a fire suit. Doing a pretty good job of burning up, though. Do something, man. All of a sudden they want to save this guy's life? After pretty much taking a kill-em-all approach for the first 3? So they put the guy out. And actually, they're not very quick about it. I'm sure the stuntman appreciated that. And look how excited Peggy is.
Good job, guys. Calls for celebration.
Why do I think the chief of the LAPD won't necessarily call this a good job? And then, whoa! Whoa, now we know why Peggy's in the movie. What did she say earlier? I'll keep it warm and ready. She's going to climb on top of the Samurai Cop. That's what she meant. So, Melissa Moore. Now that's a bad kiss. That is a bad kiss. That is such a bad kiss that the director chooses to pan down to Melissa Moore's voluptuous buttocks rather than let us see her slurping on the Samurai Cop like that. Melissa Moore, though, she's a healthy girl, isn't she? Whew. I interviewed her one time. She's 6 feet tall, professional horsewoman, appears in American saddlebred shows. So the bottom line is she knows what to do in the saddle. And what she's really doing here is the old close your eyes and writhe around like you're enjoying this trick. And but Melissa's kind of a calm girl all the way around. You can't really imagine her screaming in ecstasy, talking dirty, anything like that. So for some reason, directors always shoot her with her on top from below. And of course, there are two enormous reasons you would do that with Melissa. Look where he points that camera. And, oh, the samurai cop, look how excited he is. Can't control himself. Melissa, by the way, was valedictorian at her college, Brooks College in Long Beach, California, where she majored in business and fashion design, 36-26-36, according to the experts. All right, here's Cameron doing her big line again.
The boss is coming.
See, I wasn't kidding. That's her whole job in the movie, to tell us the boss is coming. Now, look at Fujiyama here. Look at his hair. Doesn't he look like he tried to combine a shag with a mullet and ended up with a Vidal Sassoon nightmare?
So they call him Samurai, huh? Yes.
I love the way he talks, too. And then we finally get the exposition as to what the whole samurai thing is, with Robert Zadar giving the details. Now, Robert Zadar, look at him. Look, Robert Zadar is known as the Face. Now look just how big his face is. In fact, remember that movie Tango and Cash? He played a role called Face. That was the character name. But when he made this, he was just known for Maniac Cop. But he would go on to be a pretty hard-working character actor. He's made about 70 movies at this point, mostly playing weird tough guys with names like Bongo and Maz and Z-Man and Cobra Khan. He was even Igor once in the movie Dangerous Cargo, Jocko, Rocco. These are all actual character names he's used. He used different names as an actor, too. He was Robert Darcy, Bunky Z. His real name is Robert J. Zdarsky. He's a Lithuanian, born in Chicago. And coming up right around here is his big line.
I will bring you his head and I will place it on your piano. I know the real samurai is here.
Now, did I miss something there? Is Fujiyama a piano player or something? What's the piano motif they're introducing here? So meanwhile, back at the police station, Samurai Cop is telling sex stories in front of the girl he just wang-doodled. And everybody's laughing because they just killed 3 people and burned up a van full of evidence and set a suspect on fire. And from what I take here, the purpose of this scene is to establish that Joe is a total horn dog.
Frank, come to my office.
Now watch what he does here.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Elkie.
What's that little thing he does with his hand to Peggy? He's like, well, you're not naked, so get lost. Okay, now this is weird. Establishing shot, of course you can't tell what the shot establishes, but I'll go ahead and tell you, it's the hospital.
Hey, Steve, how you doing?
So Joe and Frank were on their way to the captain's office, but now all of a sudden they're at the hospital. And look how bored they are. They've come to check up on the man they burned into a post toasty in the earlier scene. And so they go in, and there he is. Obviously at the public hospital where they only change bandages every 3 days. Massive amounts of blood on him. Doesn't bother anybody. Now, okay, I'm going to be real quiet here because this is one of the most amazing scenes in the history of the B movie, and it's a subtle, complex scene, so I don't want you to miss a single line of dialogue. Enjoy this.
Do you like what you see?
I love what I see.
Would you like to touch what you see?
Yes, I would.
Would you like to go out with me?
Yes, I would.
Would you like to fuck me?
Frank can really do those reaction shots, can't he?
Bingo.
Well, then let's see what you've got. Doesn't interest me. Nothing there.
Nothing there? Just exactly what would interest you? Something the size of a jumbo jet?
Have you been circumcised?
Yeah, I have. Why?
Well, your doctor
What an
must have cut
actress.
a big portion of it off.
No, he was a good doctor.
Good doctors make mistakes, too. That's why they buy insurance.
Hey, don't worry. I got enough. It's big.
I want bigger.
Hey, I have Have you been circumcised? Shut up.
Wasn't that just
Okay,
brilliant?
Steve, I want
You
to
know?
watch the room and watch it
So
back.
obviously, as you can see, the whole
You got 3 more officers
circumcision,
coming to
do you
assist
want to fuck me subplot
Remember, no one
has
goes in
been
the room
introduced
except the
into the
doctors
movie
and
at this
nurses.
point
Got
so
it?
that we can
Okay, Joe.
experience a
All right,
multicultural understanding of what it means to be the samurai cop. He has been circumcised, even if he's samurai. Who knows, maybe he was circumcised with a samurai sword. But at the same time, he suffers the not uncommon fear of the Japanese male that perhaps he's too short, too unmanly, too small to satisfy a blonde bimbo American nurse, thereby leading to latent aggressive tendencies that are symbolized by excessive grooming. So just wanted to explicate that for you so you would know why it was in the movie. And then Steve there is kind of dim, isn't he?
Where are you going?
You know?
I have to change the trash. Is that all right?
All right.
We knew as soon as we saw Steve that he was going to suck in the guarding the horribly burned prisoner department, right? And wait a minute, didn't the redhead there just say, I have to change the trash? What does that mean, changing the trash? She has some trash in her cart? She's going to exchange it for the old trash? Okay, I have a question here about the groaning, moaning burn victim. Should there really be that much blood seeping out of the places where his mouth and eyes should be? And do you even have any bleeding after you've suffered third-degree burns over your entire body? Doesn't that, like, cauterize the bleeding? Aha, though. The old samurai in the trash cart trick. And he's brought his katana. And he acts like it matters that the blade is sharp in this case. I think he could do this particular job with a cheese knife. So, nice gurgling sounds the guy's already making there. The sound sells it there. And she seems to be enjoying it as well. And she has one other job in the movie, cleaning the katana. Hey, baby, need you to clean this katana. And then, oh my God, there's the head. Because I forgot, he's got to put it on the piano, right? And that was Robert Zadar in one of his trademark wordless scenes in character. The man is an amazing mime, wouldn't you say? Now, the disguised nurse is one of those nurses who works in sexy high heels, as you can see. You know, the credits in this movie are hard to figure out, but they seem to be identifying this woman as an actress who calls herself Cameron. Now, would that be the same Cameron who starred in porn movies in the late 80s, also known as Krista Lane, Christy Lane, Rebecca Lynn, and Carrie Sims? Could it be her? I thought she was a blonde. You know, not that I watch that much porn, but maybe she was trying to go legit in the role of the trash-hauling killer nurse. But anyway, here's dimwit Steve realizing that he screwed up.
Oh my God. Call security.
Call security? I thought Steve was security. Anyway, during this thrilling will they get out of the hospital alive sequence, I like to think that it is the real Cameron that we're watching, exercising her acting muscles because the rest of her muscles are pretty tired. What did she have, like a 4-year porn career or something? That's an amazingly long time for a woman in porn. This movie was made in 1988. That would have been around the time she was making Mammary Lane, RoboFox 2, Taboo 6, The Obsession, Tight End. Remember that scene she did in Tight End on the couch? I don't really watch porn, but I saw that one. And, of course, Cameron's greatest moment for my money would have to be Deep Throat 2. That was her, right? Deep Throat 2.
Good job.
Yeah, good job. Good job in Deep Throat 2, back when she was working as Krista Lane in the sequel to Deep Throat. I mean, you got to have some particular skills to follow in the oral cavity of Linda Lovelace.
Let's go.
But she made like 100 movies. Actually, if I could see her breasts, I could tell you if it's her or not. Or if I could see her eat a banana or something, I could tell you from that. Anyway, even if that's not her, we salute you, Cameron, or Krista, or Rebecca, for your enormous contributions to down and dirty porn. Remember Double Penetration 1? She had the title role in that. Anyway, they say she retired in 1989, so it could be she was just doing this as a way to say, hey, porno stars can act too. So there Robert Z'Dar beats up another plainclothes hospital security guy with a well-placed groin shot, and then they slip into the perfect getaway vehicle if you're expecting the possibility of gunfire, a convertible. And then two more guys run up and try to stop Robert Z'Dar.
I'd like to talk to you. Can I see some ID?
By asking for ID. Do doctors carry ID? Is that how you check out a fake doctor? Well, no problem. He just kung fu's them to the ground with 3 or 4 blows, and they make their escape. And to make sure they're not pursued, Robert Z'Dar leaps into the car in tail gunner position. Throw something on the ground there. I don't know what that was about. Hey, they finally made it to the captain's office. Didn't he tell him he wanted to see him a long time ago? This is veteran character actor Jimmy Williams as the police captain. Fred Olen Ray used to use Jimmy Williams all the time. I remember him in Attack of the 60-Foot Centerfold and Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers. Now, Jimmy does everything. He's a producer, he's a director, he made Las Vegas Psycho, Manfish, Manosaurus. He works as an extra all the time. He's a cinematographer. He's a set designer. He's an art director. He's a camera operator. He's a Jimmy Jib operator. He does wardrobe. He writes movies. He's an editor. He does special effects. He does sound. He was a stunt driver in The President's Mistress. I love his credit in Pumping Iron. Physique photographer. That's probably how he met Matt Hannon, right? He was photographing his physique. Anyway, you get the impression that Jimmy just lives on film sets. He'll do anything. And here he is in his favorite kind of role, firing somebody.
You know it, and they know it themselves. And what they want is results. And that's what we're going to give them. We're going to give them the results.
This is pretty much your standard pissed-off police captain who thinks everyone is a moron. He's always threatening to take the star off the case, and he wants to send Pretty Boy back to San Diego. But Frank here knows how to talk to him. Here's Frank's logic. We need results, so you should give Samurai a second chance. In other words, no reason at all. So, of course, the captain says, okay, he can stay, because I feel like something's up my ass. He's like, that's his big line. There's something up my ass, so he can stay.
You son of a bitch! Come
See?
back here, you motherfucker!
Isn't he a lovable old cuss? That's the point here, I guess. Because at this point, the samurai cop has proved he can kill suspects and get fellow officers beaten up, so the lovable old cuss will look the other way. Okay, exposition alert. This is one of those scenes that has one purpose and one purpose only, to introduce the Blue Lagoon restaurant, but they drag it out with more banter between Samurai Cop and his adoring bimbo Peggy, and now this sergeant does the exposition. But watch Frank and that other girl in the background. Why do they have papers in their hands, and what are they doing with the papers? I think that's called business, you know. Give them some business to do so they won't look like they're just standing there with nothing to say, even though what they should be doing is listening to the sergeant. There's also some stuff right here about 2 other Japanese gangs, the Shinjuku and the Ginzagats. That would be the late-night infomercial Japanese gang. But Samurai Cop says he doesn't need any help. Just like he never needs backup, right? Now, listen to this. Before he leaves.
You want to go?
I can't, but I'll be home later on.
I may stop by, so keep it warm. Come on, Frank.
There's that keep it warm line again. And the very first thing he said to her at the beginning of the scene is, baby, I'm always in. And he says he may stop by if he doesn't find someone else to poke first. What a guy. Now, where are we? We're like 30 minutes into the movie. We're introducing yet another female character as Fujiyama gives some expensive jewelry to the lovely Jennifer, thereby arousing the jealousy of the redhead, evidently. And of course, it's a low-budget movie. We don't really see the jewelry. It's not like Cartier was going to haul over $1 million in rocks so they could get a product placement deal in this thing. And this is the introduction of a character called Tony.
Sorry. Please have a seat.
Could have just been already seated, but I guess they wanted to say his name, Tony. And now our heroes stroll into the Blue Lagoon, and they do not like what they see. And I have a question. Is there any time that the samurai cop does not wear blue jeans? Now, I want you to watch here as Matt Hannon tries out his sneer.
Are you Fujiyama?
Yes, I am. Who are you?
That cracks me up. He knows he's got to be mean, but he didn't know quite how to do it, so he just acts like he can't quite pronounce the name. But I love this scene because this is Matt Hannon's big moment. Coming up is the speech that he marked with yellow highlighter on his script. It's the long speech where he gets to show everything he's got as an actor. First, there's a little Mexican standoff here as Robert Z'Dar feels like Samurai Cop has insulted the integrity of Katana. And then there's a little exchange between the lawyer and Frank about whether they have any evidence against Fujiyama. And Frank says, oh, we have many things, but he doesn't say what they are. And then there's some stuff in here about America, land of the free, spoken by Fujiyama. And then the lawyer threatens a lawsuit. This whole section is all about legal threats, and you start to wonder just exactly why did they come here in the first place? Just to trade insults or something? And then Frank is going to toss off some more one-liners. Every time Frank laughs, it's like somebody wrote laugh in the script, and he feels like he has to laugh.
For this insult to my client. File a case first thing in the morning.
Hey, counselor. You still have 3 or 4 hours before the courthouse closes.
Now I'm telling these son of a bitches.
And then the samurai cop.
We respect the Japanese of this country.
Here's the big speech.
Who are honest businessmen. And yeah, this is the land of opportunity for legitimate business, not for death merchants who distribute drugs to our children through schools and on the streets. Now I'm telling these motherfuckers that if they continue killing our children to make their precious millions that they deposit in their secret Swiss bank accounts. Counselor, before your lawsuit even gets off the court clerk's desk, I'll have their stinking bodies in garbage bags and ship them back to Japan for fertilizer. Got it? And you too. Excuse me, miss.
I don't know about you, but I'm
By the
just
way,
emotionally
what's an
drained
all-American
after
girl
that.
like you
Matt Hannon,
doing with a geek like
the
this?
actor who could have gone on to be the thinking man's Jean-Claude Van Damme, but for some reason he dropped out of sight right after this movie. Wouldn't even agree to make Samurai Cop 2. He just had no taste for the limelight. And of course, before he leaves, he just has to hit on Fujiyama's girlfriend. Why? Because she's breathing and she wears a dress, of course.
We'll see you in court.
Oh yeah. And Frank, give us one of those great laughs before we go, okay? Thank you. Okay, remember the circumcision scene? They thought, how can we ever top that one? I know. How about a gay, mincing Costa Rican waiter who tells jokes about suicide? Watch this.
Her mother owns the place.
Where's her father?
Bang!
Killed? Who shot him?
He.
Who?
Him.
Who's him?
Himself.
Oh, he committed suicide.
Yes.
Listen, when you see Jennifer alone, tell her I think she's very lovely.
I'll do that.
Tell her I'll try to see her soon.
Good. I'll help you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I like cops. My cousin's a cop.
Oh, really? Where?
In Costa Rica.
Oh.
Good. What's your name?
Alfonso Rafael Federico Sebastian. This is my first name.
What's your last name?
Oh,
That's all right. We just need your first name. Thanks a lot. Bye.
bye-bye. I'll tell my cousin I know you.
Why didn't you let me hear his last name?
That scene,
come
by
on,
the way,
man. His
did get
last
an
name
honorary
was
mention from the Hispanic American Multicultural Image Awards. It was a special prize for depicting gay Costa Rican waiters with dignity. And then you knew that Robert Z'Dar wouldn't sit still for having his katana insulted, so he brings out 4 really badly dressed guys to beat up on the uppity cops. This is in keeping with the ancient samurai tradition of standing in the background like a weasel while some stuntmen do your fighting for you. Of course, it only takes a couple of blows each to reduce these guys to jelly. And Frank is especially, he actually tries to put him under arrest. Joe never tries to arrest anybody. He just bashes their heads in and hopes they catch on fire. And here's Joe showing off his kung fu moves. Coming up right here on a very fat guy. Why do they always go to the Frank reaction shot? They have so many Frank reaction shots. Oh, I stand corrected. He will cuff a guy. And, let's see, here's the next pigeon. Nice! Nice tumble into the truck. Extra $50 for doing that tumble. So now Robert Zadar executes the second ancient samurai tradition of sending in a guy with a gun to either liberate the first three guys or kill them. Either solution is okay to save katana honor. And this part is pretty funny. Guy who tumbled into the truck is back on his feet and ready to party with a very long katana. But Frank is unimpressed. And does this guy look like he's ever had a gun in his hands in his life? Such a convincing freeze you motherfuckers, I mean it. Look at the way he holds the gun. And he gets what he deserves. Nice special effect, arm on the ground. And that was Frank's customary reaction shot. And that Robert Zadar, pure samurai that he is, pulls out the automatic submachine gun and starts shooting everything in sight. Yeah, you have to wonder what they were going for in this movie. Because it's called Samurai Cop, but there's not any real Japanese fighting in it. At least not so far. And Matt Hannon looks about as much samurai as Michael Jackson does. It all comes from the mind of writer-director Amir Shervan, who I haven't even talked about yet. But Amir made 3 movies in the late 80s. He made this one, he made another action flick called Hollywood Cop, and then the last movie I know of that he made was called Killing American Style in 1990. Of course, I remember Amir from his early days, 1968, when he made Dos de Siyapush, which was almost as good as Zani Biname Sharab. When Amir worked in Arabic, totally different director. He should have called this Jihad Cop. He would have been on more familiar territory. Actually, the earliest credit I could find for Amir was 1952. He wrote a movie called Omre Dobara, or A Second Life. And he also wrote Bride of the Tigris River. We all remember that one, right? Tigris River movie, you know, but it went beyond all the Tigris River movie cliches, in my opinion. Okay, so Robert Zadar basically blows everything up and then walks away. Now, my question is, if it's dishonorable to lose in a fight and so you have to die the samurai way, then why didn't Robert Zadar have to die? He was sort of organizing the fight, right? Okay, so obviously at this point, Joe and Frank are so emotionally shaken that they'll have to put in for leave, or maybe not. Maybe they can just tell an ethnic joke and then they'll feel better about all those dead bodies.
God, man, look what they done to my car. Captain Rohmer's gonna burn my ass.
Yeah, he's gonna burn it. Charcoal black.
It is black.
Right on.
Are they trying to make Frank into sort of a Shaft guy in this or something? It's not working. Okay, back to the crusty but lovable police captain. I'm not sure what this scene is about. Obviously, Tony the lawyer was promised 2 scenes in the movie. But I have a question. When you complain about being treated badly by the police, do they just send you over to the captain's office? Wouldn't you have to fill out a form or something? But this is a good way to deal with it right here. This would win the Police Community Service Award.
You'll have to go to surgery to get my foot out of it. Get out of here, you asshole. Leave me alone. I got more important things than a shyster like you. Get out of here.
I'll see you in court.
Okay.
You motherfucker, I'll see you in hell. Leave me alone. Get a job.
Oh, to serve and protect. Okay. Here's Joe back trolling around the Chinese restaurant because we know he has just one thing on his mind. He's in the constant throes of the Nookie Monster. Yes, he has the hots for Jennifer, and he won't rest until he gets into her expensive panties. So there she is now. Let's see what smooth approach he uses this time.
Hi.
It's the old lean against the door and look cool move. Look at that face. Does this look like a man who never learned his multiplication tables or what?
Rumor has it that
This is actually a very good study, this scene right here, and what happens when people don't go to enough acting classes.
You're a police officer. Questioning is the nature of your business.
He said he was there because
Yeah.
the visit was simply social. Wasn't he supposed to say strictly social?
Why?
Well, let's just say, I think you're very pretty.
Thank you.
Jeez, where are my manners? I haven't even introduced myself. My name's Joe. Joe Marshall.
I know. And they call you Samurai?
Seems you know a lot about me.
They talk.
Who's they? Your Japanese friends?
They're not my
Yeah,
friends.
blah, blah, blah. Okay, this
if they're not
movie
your
is just
friends,
all
then how
over
did
the
you get
lot,
to know
isn't it?
them?
I mean, they promised kung
do you know
fu
who
in
they
the
are, where they
title.
come from?
There's not much kung
Did you know
fu.
that
It's supposed to be
Fujiyama's the
about
number one most
cops,
wanted
but the
criminal
main
on the
cop
police
looks
list
like a
right now?
fugitive
Well,
from
I
a
don't know.
hairband
As
and
far as I
spends
know,
most
he's
of his
just a
time
businessman.
planning his next
He's been helpful
makeout
to my
session.
dad and
Now, if you're going to put
How did you get
cop
to know
in the
him in the first
title,
place?
you got to live up
My
to the
father
long,
passed
great
away.
tradition of cop
owned this
movies.
restaurant.
This doesn't even rate with Ghost
Left my
Cop.
mother and I buried
Remember
in
that turkey?
$400,000
That was
in debt.
better. Not to even
So,
mention
Mr. Fujiyama helped
Copland or
us out.
Beverly Hills Cop,
Guess
you
you
know,
could say
real
he
cop
owns the
movies. You know, if you
restaurant
use
now.
cop, you got to
That's why
have
my mother was
cops.
so indebted to him.
Almost every movie with
whatever
cop
he's
in the
done for you
name
doesn't mean
is
anything.
better than this
And the
movie.
money that
I'm
he
trying to
spent
think
on
of a
you in
worse
this
one.
restaurant
Like
is
Future
drug
Cop? No.
Dirty.
Angel
See,
Cop?
guys like Fujiyama make millions
Yeah,
of dollars
good
every
cop,
year
bad
in this
cop.
town by selling drugs and destruction.
Cyborg Cop?
Now, I don't know you too well, but
Cowboy Cop?
I think it's pretty
Banana
safe to say
Cop?
that
It's even
you
worse
shouldn't
than
have any
Banana
interest
Cop.
for
Did you ever
what
see
this
that
guy's
one?
doing.
Banana Cop,
Well, you're right.
Japanese,
I have no interest at all
1984.
in their activities.
See, they were trying to cash in on that whole maniac cop thing with this. But if you're going to do that, I mean, there were a lot of guys who did that the right way, like Demon Cop. Remember that? Psycho
Eat
Cop,
out day and night. Why?
Rabid Cop, Snuff
Oh, would you like to
Cop,
eat somewhere else for a
Vampire
change?
Cop. That was a good one. Beast Cop,
I'm sorry, I can't. I'm really
Zombie
busy.
Cop. All those were better.
Well, you're the boss.
Now he
Can't you
keeps
get somebody
asking her
else to
for a
do it?
date,
Not today.
and
My
she
bookkeeper's
keeps giving
gonna by
excuses
later.
why she can't meet him on any night of the week. But of course he knows that just
How about
means
tomorrow?
she wants his body.
Tomorrow's Friday, and that's one of our busiest days.
All right, Sunday. Sunday it is.
Sunday I go to church. Besides, Sunday's my birthday.
Oh, Sunday's your birthday? Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
What church do you go to?
The Episcopal Church in Beverly Hills.
Ah,
The Episcopal Church of- They're off on a whole tangent here.
Well,
Who writes this
nice
stuff?
meeting you, Jim.
Oh, that's right, I forgot.
Too.
The director writes this
see you
stuff.
later.
Bye.
All right. What was the purpose of that scene? Let's see. Maybe we'll get a clue right here. Camera linger. Linger, linger, linger. Let the camera search for the emotion on her face. Nope. Okay, here's a little change of pace. Guys that want to beat up the samurai cop. What is this, the third time they've sent guys to beat him up?
Maybe a little later. Right now,
Yes,
I got
shoot
orders to
him.
break both your legs.
You notice how they film most of these kung fu scenes in close-up insert shots, right? So you see some punches, but you don't see many full body throws. And I've been ragging on him, but I think Matt Hennon's fighting skills are actually okay, don't you think? He just looks like a dork. This is good. Nice baseball bat thumping. And then for some reason he feels like he needs to chase this dude down, even though he's already got 3 on the ground. So we get another chase scene, this time on foot. What I want you to watch for is how it ends, how this guy goes down. Look. Watch how this happens. Okay, he's running around the fence. Gonna run through a driveway or something here. Look, he runs too close to a Ford Falcon and the vibes from the car knock him onto the concrete. Now Samurai Cop is going to force him to talk, even though he could have stayed back at the restaurant and forced any of the 3 other guys to talk.
I don't know.
Don't lie to me.
And he finally gets the answer.
Tell me.
I can't. They'll kill me.
No, they won't. I'll help you. Assaulting a police officer with a deadly weapon will get you 15 years, but if you tell me who hired you, I'll get him.
Okamura! Okamura sent me.
Which one is he?
Okamura, the bald guy who was in the very first scene in the movie.
Bald man.
But don't we know that everyone who tries to beat him up works for Fujiyama? Isn't that a
I
given?
need his address.
How do we know that this is the right house?
Okay, here's Samurai Cop standing around out on the street with his gun drawn, waving it around for no reason because he doesn't know that what they're going to do next, and they're actually just having a meeting in this scene, but it just makes him feel good to have his gun drawn. And then the little comic relief line here.
Shit, man. You burned my ass.
You don't have to worry about that. It's already,
Yeah, I know. It's already black, huh? This time he
They
probably...
told the same joke again.
You better come
Oh
to
my
my
God.
house before you report to the captain.
For what?
Let's use it before you lose it.
Oh my God, now she's in on it too.
Peggy, you and John.
Don't you think these guys spend entirely too much time talking about dicks and asses?
Come running. Let's go.
Did you hear that? Samurai Cop lapsed into a southern accent. If you hear shooting, come running.
You and I got nothing to do. Let's fuck.
Shut up.
What was that about? What was that? Okay, here's what's known as cat and mouse, where people skulk around behind trees and creep up and faint and run around, so we'll get all tense as to what might happen. I hate cat and mouse, actually. Oh my God!
Did I?
That's Gerald Okamura naked.
A favor's a favor.
I did not want to see that.
Okay.
Oh. Oh my God. Surely they won't go through with this, you know? Oh, you know what? I think they are going to go through with this. My God.
Hey, Vic, take a look behind the building.
Okay, good. Cat and mouse. I love cat and mouse. Back to the cat and mouse. Beat up somebody. Maybe Gerald, or hurry up and have sex off camera. Oh.
Freeze.
Okay, they did beat up somebody up, but why did they beat that guy up? What did he do? He just walked around the corner. Oh, now Samurai Cop sees the full horror of what he's up against. An obese Hawaiian man, in flagrante aardvarkus.
Is that him?
I guess so. Looks like this is his last fuck.
That's right. Take a break. Let it sink it.
Hell,
Are they actually discussing the pros and cons of whether to shoot him while he's having sex?
Hey, look!
police! Don't move. You're under arrest.
Hey, Joe, open the sliding glass door before you point your gun through it, okay? All right, too late. Those little things on the sliding glass door are always hell to get open, aren't they? Now it's a mad scramble for samurai honor as Gerald Okamura grabs some stuff. Let's hope he grabs some pants. And then we get a series of Japanese Yakuza bad guys going out into the largest open space they can find and turning their full body towards the cops and being blown away. Watch this. Frames himself in the doorway. Goodbye. Oh, Okamura, he put his pants and his shirt on, thank God. And he had time to fly through the plate glass window. And then there was the guy who tried to avoid detection on the roof. Who's next to die? Yeah, there he is. That was a good plan to get up there. Oh yeah, run out into the middle of the patio. That's a good plan. Shoot him. At least Okamura has the good sense to take his briefcase with him. Because it has a gun inside. Why didn't he just take the gun? So he can fire behind a tree. Okamura runs funny, wouldn't you say? But then so does the samurai cop. Whoops! Trapped in the cactus garden. And out of bullets. Curtains for Okamura. And now, after he has no other options, he issues the Samurai Challenge.
I'm unarmed. You gonna shoot me? Or fight me like a man?
Yeah, that'll work on a cop. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's the Samurai Cop. Now this is good. This is Monty Python stuff here. Samurai versus samurai. I want to hear some groans out of Samurai Cop, don't you? Gerald Okamura. I hadn't really talked about Gerald, but he's the most famous guy in the cast, really. Martial arts expert, judo, kendo, aikido, taekwondo, 5th degree black belt in Kung Fu Sansu. And he's a sword designer. He designed a sword called the Okamura hook sword. He's been in movies 25 years. He was 50 years old when he made this movie, doing these stunts. A lot of you guys will know him from the Andy Sedaris movies. He was in several of those. Return to Savage Beach, Day of the Warrior, Dallas Connection, Fit to Kill. Always plays the character of Fu. That's his name. He's also played characters called Young, Wo, Agawa, and Chong, so you get the idea. He was the Wing Wong Hatchet Man in Big Trouble in Little China, if you saw that. Speeding up the film again, I hate that. Anyway, he's well known in the business because he hosts the annual Dragon Fest convention in Hollywood every November. He started that in 1996 as a benefit, one of the few fan conventions that emphasizes martial arts. Other things too, like sci-fi, but a lot of martial arts guys there. And he does stunt work, obviously, and fight choreography. Well, actually, he's only done fight choreography for one movie, the immortal Bikini Hotel. Did they have any fights in Bikini Hotel? Oh, also, one other thing about Okamura in this movie is he cheats. Carries throwing stars in his belt. Or what were those? Knives? Finger knives. Kung Fu knives. Here they are. No, they're knives. Kung Fu knives. Probably designed them himself. Gerald acts a lot with his face. Don't you think he should have changed his name from Gerald? I mean, Okamura sounds great, but Gerald Okamura. So much for those knives. Okay. Break his neck. I didn't hear the crack. Wasn't he about to break his neck? Didn't it look like they were setting that up for a break his neck shot? What happened there? I swear they forgot the continuity on that. They were going to break his neck. Okay.
He's under arrest. Watch his arm, I might have broken.
We're back to under arrest. The understated Frank. Looks like you did break his arm.
You're under arrest. Come on, get up. Get up.
Frank doesn't even search him. Then they have to shoot him.
Holy shit.
Well, this one's dead too. Not captured alive.
Don't you love it the way they state the obvious after every scene? This one's dead too.
We have several new enemies.
This is one of those scenes where they have a curtain in the back instead of a wall. Why do they do that? Do they want us to think about what's behind the curtain? What's up with that? Is a wall such a hard thing to find when you're a location scout for a movie? And didn't we already have this scene? This is another the Samurai Cop is causing us problems scene. You know, they just can't find enough cops to buy off.
They would be financially secure for the rest of their lives. It's a downhill situation.
Okay. Hadn't that been the only option ever since the movie started? Haven't they had 4 scenes saying, well, we'll have to kill him now? Okay, now it gets real confusing. Fujiyama thinks for a long time, and then he thinks, well, if I kill him, everybody will know it's me because Okamura just died. So we'll hire some guys out of New York to just break their legs, because then nobody will think it's us. Do you follow that?
An outside source. I'll call New York, and we'll have them all wiped out.
Suddenly, We can't kill
We
them.
cannot kill any of them now. But we should punish them somehow. Call New York and get somebody to break both of those samurai cops' legs. But don't you or your men get involved.
It shall be done.
And now where are we?
Boss's house.
Samurai Cop is in a film editing room somewhere. And what's he doing editing films? There's some dialogue in there about a mafia chief's house. Did we just change movies? What's going on? You know, another thing that occurs to me as I watch this movie, you notice in every scene they have some new young girl. Like in this scene, there's a receptionist who tells the bad guys where Samurai Cop is. It's like the producer was trolling bars for weeks saying, "Hey babe, want a part in my movie?" I'm sure she's a wonderful actress though. I think I saw her on Inside the Actors Studio one time. You could really sum up this whole movie as, okay, who can we dream up next to try to kill the Samurai Cop? Now, of course, these are the smart guys from New York. They're just coming to break his legs, remember? So we'll see how they do.
Are you expecting anybody? That's a warning bell.
Oh, yeah?
And who's the film editor guy? They introduce these characters, they have like 3 lines, and then you never see them again. Okay, there's the first guy. Puts his whole body in the door frame, one shot, sayonara. Second guy stands on an enclosed stairway where he has no chance of escape. Takes 4 bullets like a rag doll in a carnival shooting gallery. Bye-bye. Don't you love this intense music? In case you've forgotten, Alan Dermer-Darassian, the musical stylings of the king of Armenian action movies. I don't know that he's Armenian, maybe he's Turkish, Serbian, something. He could be a big star in Sarajevo, for all I know. And, okay, third guy turns his back on the cop, easy takedown, and now Samurai Cop makes a daring escape from the roof of the building, under fire. Guy hiding behind a cheap bar stool. Yowza, down and out. What? Wait. Was that scene over yet? There was one guy still alive there. I mean, I'm not complaining, because it's the redhead gang lady imitation nurse, here comes the boss babe, stripping down to nothing for a sex scene with, oh my God, Robert Zadar. I think this may be the first and only time you'll ever see Robert Zadar in a sex scene. And she kisses a little bit better than Melissa Moore. And of course, Amir always likes the butt shot. Not quite as good in the butt department as Melissa, I would say. Is Amir Shervan obsessed with butt shots or what? Ooh, that's some bad fish kissing there. And I think, oh, that's a good decision. Phone rings. Aardvarkus interruptus because of a phone call from the boss.
Are they there? I'll be there right away.
Where are you going?
That's her. I'm pretty sure that's her. Okay, cut to Beverly Hills. Now, do you remember the reference from earlier in the movie? It's the Episcopal Church in Beverly Hills, where the lovely Jennifer says she spends her Sundays. Samurai Cop will, of course, do anything for Nookie. So here he is, actually dressed in a suit, prepared to go inside a church building just to make sure he can plow her like a soybean field later.
Oh, hi.
So let's see if he can pull this one off.
Yeah, I was in there preaching. Didn't you see me?
Of course he can.
No, you weren't. Stop kidding me.
Nah, I'm just kidding. Hey, hold on. I have to ask you some more questions.
Police questions?
Well, let's just say some questions.
Okay, where?
In my car. Come on.
That was his whole approach. Come to my car, little girl. He didn't even say anything really interesting. We're just supposed to assume that they like the mullet head, which is now in a ponytail. And I'm not sure about that other guy who was watching him. I don't know what that was about.
Station where you're interrogating me?
I'm trying. I'm trying to figure this out for you guys. So he takes her to his place,
month to month.
and she doesn't really figure out
Let
that
me
they're
show you
going to his place until she's inside. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. There's the guy who was watching him by the limo, who was actually watching her so he could go back to Robert Zadar and say that Jennifer left with a cop, so that Robert Zadar can walk 10 feet and tell Fujiyama that she left with a cop.
Kill him. My pleasure.
Ooh. Robert Zadar is enjoying that whisper just a little too much. Where have I heard that before? We're back to kill them all. And meanwhile, what was the emergency that called Robert Zadar away from Aardvark with the redhead? All they seem to be doing is standing around having cocktails there. So, Samurai Cop goes and gets her at church, so she decides she doesn't really want to go to church. She'd rather go to his place and have a chicken dinner and laugh at his lame jokes.
So I hope you're impressed.
How did you know I'd come home with you?
'Cause you're a bimbo.
Let's just say I can read eyes.
Oh, please. That worked? Okay, here's some characters I don't recognize. Who is he? Who is she? He's lifting weights. She's reading a magazine. Robert Zadar walks in. Has his katana out. What's this about? Oh, yeah. Okay. That's one of the guys who was standing around in one of the earlier scenes. I think it's the guy that Melissa Moore went up to and said, "Do you want to fuck?" But I'm not sure. No, I think it's the guy in the very first scene where they walk out of the police building. Anyway, he's dog meat, apparently.
We're not good friends.
Nice little gratuitous breast action there. Did you see that? Yeah, there you go.
John, help me. John,
This is the samurai tradition of torturing a woman to get information. The valuable information he's trying to get is Samurai Cop's address.
Don't know where he lives.
Who knows?
How many people will die in order to get Samurai Cop's address? Have you heard of the internet?
They're pretty good friends. Maybe they know where he lives. Oh, please don't hurt my wife.
Ah, nice throat slit. Ooh. Ooh, gurgling, and then he gets it. Now, let me give you a little project to do right here. Go back to right before the cop gets stabbed as he's lunging towards Robert Zadar and freeze frame it. He's got blood all over the side of his shirt before the knife goes in. He's got advanced special effects blood on his t-shirt. You don't see that in every movie. Okay, so now they have the address. The guy didn't give it up, did he? I thought he said he had the address. They just killed him before. They killed him before he talked. Did I miss something? Okay. Little dying moment for him here. Oh God, this may be too much to take. They got their bikinis on. Which, think about that. She was ready to go to church. It means Samurai Cop is such a smooth operator, he keeps a ready supply of designer bikinis at his house in all sizes. You like the way she sort of puts her tippy toe out there behind her as she kisses him? See, that means, you know what that's a signal for? It means she's not a slut like Melissa Moore. Meanwhile, two guys show up at Frank's house as he's coming out of the shower. He's not wet at all. He dries off really fast. Plus, he showers in a, as we'll see here, in a teeny tiny bathing suit. This whole part of the movie has bikinis in it. Why did that guy rip off the towel? That was a very gay thing to do. Now look at this. This is funny.
I'd love to put a couple bullets in your head. Oh, yeah. Take it easy, man.
You see where the guy's holding his hands?
What do you want? I can kill you now, or I can relieve you of this gift. This black gift.
Yeah. He keeps talking about relieving him of his black gift. Is that a reference back to the scene in the hospital where they were talking about circumcision or what? But look where he was holding it. He couldn't even get his hands close to his wang doodle. The actor was very nervous doing that. And then look, they fall for the address must be in my closet ruse. That's what I tell people when I don't want to give out information. Oh, must be in the closet. Go in there and get it. Fortunately, Frank always leaves a kitchen knife handy to cut up his newspapers with, and so he fumbles around and he gets the jump on one of the two dimwits here. And then they have this kind of Mexican standoff moment where the guy keeps yelling, "Leave him alone." Is that something that Yakuza use a lot? Leave him alone, leave him alone, leave him alone. Isn't that something you say in the 3rd grade? He keeps saying that. Then Frank finally gets the gun and kills him. And then this is interesting.
You love cutting people, huh? Now you're gonna get it.
I think he killed that guy too. Wasn't he supposed to arrest him? Butt shot! Butt shot attention. Amir Shervan butt shot. Samurai Cop continuing his day of love. Everybody in all LA is getting sliced and diced and shot up, and he can't answer his phone because he's canoodling in the pool with the girl from the restaurant. Oh, another butt shot. Whoops, another butt shot. And then coming up here, snappy patter. And then coming up here is the big muscle shot on Samurai Cop. Think he's looked in a few mirrors in his lifetime. And now we're back to Melissa Moore, or Peggy as she's known in the movie. And Peggy, who as we all know, keeps it warm for the Samurai Cop at all times, is preparing her lonely dinner because Samurai Cop is spending the whole day trying to get laid by Jennifer. And as she putters around the kitchen in her fetching blue jean shorts, Robert Zadar and two of his goons stealthily approach, and of course in order to make sure their mission goes as planned, they stand right in the middle of the window to look at her. They can't come straight in that window, but fortunately they are able to creep around the building and find a sliding glass window that has been clumsily left open. And then they use the standard approach when you're trying to sneak up on someone after you've snuck into their house.
Hey, baby.
You say, "Hey, baby." That's the first thing you do, so that she can then karate chop him. In fact, she takes care of two of these guys. Tries to go for the gun. I don't think there was anything in the movie before this to indicate that Peggy had taken any martial arts classes, because she's the helicopter pilot, right? But she does okay until the point at which Robert Zadar comes over and puts his full weight on her and spread eagles her on the kitchen counter. Now, they're going to pour a little hot grease, and I'm not sure where they're pouring that hot grease. But she's screaming, and what's sad about this scene is that while she's screaming, the Samurai Cop is frolicking in his bikini with a woman that didn't even want to go out with him. Is that fair? It's also ironic that as she was cooking dinner, the only thing she was cooking was a pan of grease, because that turned out to be very painful for her. And, oh, that hurts. She sells that grease with those screams. Those are good screams. And then after the third one, she screams more and more and more. But she gives him up.
Thank you for your cooperation.
And then he burns her again because he's just such a jerk.
Cool down, young one.
Did they kill her, though? I don't think so. They just maimed her for life. And if they were pouring the grease where I think they were pouring the grease, they ruined a portion of the Samurai Cop's love life as well. So, this is gross. This is just gross.
You're welcome.
Normally, you know, you have to watch Cinemax at 2 a.m. to see this kind of thing. Watch this move here. I don't mind a good sex scene, but this is like me Tarzan, you slut. Remember, as they descend into the throes of erotic passion, that every single other person in the movie is getting shot at, burned with bacon grease, threatened with knives, tortured, stabbed, slit up by the goons of Fujiyama. Only the Samurai Cop is having a pleasant day. And even though he's in the middle of an investigation, he's not answering his phone. So let's see what Amir does this time. This is his, what, 4th or 5th sex scene at this point? So far he hadn't done much with him. But this is supposed to be the great love of Samurai Cop's life, so it should be hot, right? But look, he kisses like a fish! Okay, that's it, I'm sorry. They're both just lying there like mackerels. It's official, the Samurai Cop is gay. I'm sorry, look at this, I can hardly watch this. What is he doing? What's he doing with his hands? Oh, look. Now he's going to have sex in the spoon position? What's that? Okay, this could be something. Follow Samurai Cop's hand. Yeah, go right there. No, other direction. He's gay. Oh, we were supposed to think he pulled them off. Okay, now she'll be in the throes of... No. See, his head's in the wrong place. Amir is one kinky guy, you know it? Oh, let's fish kiss some more. Oh boy. Oh, sorry, not impressed. Now what's going on? Okay. White car driving down a road. No idea. White car going into a driveway. Establishing shot. That was it. That was the whole scene. White car drives down road scene.
Hello. Listen.
Oh, he's finally answering his phone.
Get out fast, man. Those guys are looking for you. Oh yeah?
I'm busy fish kissing. Okay, it's Robert Zadar. Oh, there's the white car. Where Robert Zadar and his two goons. Well, his two goons were across the street. They weren't in the car. Anyway, will Samurai get dressed?
Get out fast.
I hope so.
Later, okay? They're coming after you.
I don't want to see him doing kung fu in his bikini. Let's see how smart these goons are.
Looks like they're already here. Gotta go.
You like the way they creep? They kind of hunch over and creep. Oh, thank God he got dressed. They both got dressed. Well, they got dressed in like 6 seconds. First guy, stand out in the open by the swimming pool. One shot. Header off the board into the pool. Extra $25. Wait a minute. They were relatively safe inside the house. Why did they leave the house? And why did Samurai Cop bring the girl with him into the gun battle? Oh, okay. standing by a tree. Samurai cop misses. A rare missed opportunity for the muscle man. Oh, here's one of those little shooting around corners things.
Listen, don't worry. Get back inside.
And now he sends her back inside? Well, what did you bring her out for in the first place?
But you'll never get away from me!
All right. Cat and mouse, 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 cat and mouse. I don't really know where they're going at this point in the movie. Two guys left on the bad guy side. Samurai cops. Solution to the current problem is run away. Runs out the front of the house with a girl, jumps into a car, speeds off. That's it. That's it. End of action scene. He ran away. By the way, did that look like the front of that house on the beach with the rocky walkway down to the water? Did they change houses before they had sex or something? Anyway, here's a new character. Who is this? Oh, it's Jennifer's mom. Now look how traumatized Jennifer is from being shot at and almost killed.
I don't give a damn.
She's reading her mail.
And you know why?
And mom is lecturing her about being nice to Mr. Fujiyama, but she doesn't care because she's in love. She's been fish-kissed all over her body. And here's her big emotional moment.
I should fire both of you. You never brought me one of those bastards
Okay, another
alive,
mad
so I can nail him
captain
with something.
scene. But this time, he's got a plan.
I'm gonna lose my pension. That means my
He wants to
pension's
kill Fujiyama and everybody who works for him,
something?
and then they'll turn in their
gone. I don't
badges.
give a fuck. There's only one thing in this world I want. I want you to find that motherfucking Japanese gangster. I want you to kill him, and I want you to kill every one of his men. I want you to turn
Can
his
they
house
do
into a
that?
bloodbath.
Can you just
Don't
kind of
leave
use the
anybody
badge
alive.
to commit several murders and then say, okay, we quit. We got what we wanted. I don't think you can do that. But look how calm Joe and Frank are. Oh, well, okay. Fujiyama massacre plan? Okay, yeah, boss. That's what we
Now
want
you're
too.
talking.
All right.
Okay,
See
we'll
you,
call
Cap.
you when we got a body count.
See you in hell.
Let's go, Frank.
You know what I'm wondering? I'm wondering about Peggy. Where are those burns on her body and what's she doing about it? I mean, weren't they worried when Peggy didn't come in for work? Nobody's thinking about Peggy. And when did they switch to this red car? Do they use a different car every day? Here they are driving up to Fujiyama's compound. And it's killing time, of course. But of course we need a little comic relief first.
Why did you come under?
I'm an undercover cop.
Maybe the worst joke ever written, even by samurai cop standards. Okay. Cat and mouse, cat and mouse, cat and mouse, cat and mouse, cat and mouse. Tree to tree. Through the garden. Where is this place? They'll have to spend a long time creeping up on that. Oh, good. Start firing right away. Stands by tree, gets blown away.
They're here, boss.
Where's the girl?
She's down in the basement.
Fujiyama barks a few gravelly voiced orders. We get a little exposition. They're holding Jennifer in the basement. Sends black guy out to shoot. Indoor cat and mouse. Indoor cat and mouse.
Watch the other door.
Watch the door. I hate the cat and mouse part. Oh, okay. Automatic weapons fire. Plus, little Dermot DeRossi and Get Killed music. Listen to this. Okay, let's see how smart this guy is. Guy with the automatic weapon. Here he comes. What's he gonna do? That's right. Go for it, man. Run right out into the open. Stop. Hear a voice behind you. Guy has a gun. Turn around. Get shot at point blank range. Go down. Pull in that trigger. Good one. Now, I love this guy in the t-shirt. Big Belly Man. Using some kind of pump-action rifle. They all have different guns, whatever they could buy at the gun show that week. Running from tree to tree like Daffy Duck. And then he suddenly decides to run between trees while Frank is 10 feet away, and he keeps clutching the places on his chest where he hasn't been shot. While he dies really slowly. 3 shots to bring down the big man. How many guys are left? How many could possibly be left? It gets kind of monotonous after a while. Okay. Giant guy in a suit stands in the middle of the living room. Dead. Guy in a door frame. Dead. Guy shooting around the corner. Hides himself twice. Then Samurai Cop uses the old duck low method. He shoots the TV and that gives him the opening. Dead. Okay, now they're actually inside Fujiyama's house. And of course we know what Fujiyama's going to do, don't we? Here's Joe looking all around. He doesn't see anything. And then Joe. Fujiyama is standing right to the left of the camera.
All I want to do is get out of this country.
Joe just missed him. So what Fujiyama does is use Jennifer to get the drop on Samurai Cop. You see the sudden interest in artistic cinematography there? Shooting the hostage through a piece of modern sculpture so we can't see anybody very well. Now, see, that would be interesting, I think, if he'd done anything else like that anywhere in the whole rest of the movie. But right here at the end, it's a little distracting. Now Frank joins in. 3-way Mexican standoff. Now listen to this conversation.
How do I know if I drop my gun, you won't shoot me?
Well, for one thing, I don't want any more trouble with the police.
Bullshit. The minute we disarm, he's gonna shoot.
Drop the gun, Frank. I don't want Jennifer hurt.
Do you believe that? Drop the gun because he's not stupid. He doesn't want to do the killing himself.
Drop it, Frank.
Yes, that is excellent logic. This is an exceedingly slow scene to involve gunplay. See, they could be dead by now, but Fujiyama wants to make a speech first. He finally shoots, but then he should immediately shoot Samurai Cop too, but for some reason he waits, giving the girl time to knock his gun up in the air, and then he's dead. But who shot him? Did Frank shoot him? Did he shoot himself? That was very lame.
What's that?
I think there was a quick fleeting glimpse of Frank shooting him. But Frank was crawling up off the floor
to do what?
After he was dead.
Vest, man.
I don't know. And of course Frank had a bulletproof vest on. Was that
I got
cool
one more
or
thing
what?
to take care of.
Let's go home? Is that what she said? They already shacked up?
He's still
She's
alive.
got her claws in him, doesn't she? And we all know what the last thing in the movie has to be, don't we? Robert Zadar. She can kiss better than he can. Robert Zadar is still alive. So they have to take care of that. Now the hunter becomes the hunted. Here they are at Robert Zadar's Rock House hideout. I have no idea where this is. Have we seen this before? Looks like some kind of pavilion at the state park or something. Anyway, there's our guys creeping up to the target. I'm sure they'll have to take out a few guards first. That'll be fun. Here's a good one. Swordsman who wants to take on 2 gunmen in the open.
Don't worry.
What an actor.
God damn it.
Frank decides to fight the sword with his hands. Fortunately, Frank's cooler head prevails. One dead samurai. Now here's a guy in a leisure suit waiting to be killed. One of those blue jean leisure suits, I think. Here's a guy going up to the roof to be killed. Good plan. Nobody will be able to draw a bead on him up there. Here's a guy knocking the door off and framing himself in the doorway when he could have just shot through the window. Let's see, so far he's gotten off, 3 shots? Uh-oh, 4th shot, too many. Dead man. Oh, Blondie on the roof. I bet he's next. Yep. Oh, good fall. They didn't show the end of it, but it's still a $100 fall. Here's somebody driving up in a Jeep. You love to have people driving up all the time after the scene is started. Oh, 2 more guys in the woods. You know, it's the music that makes this scene, don't you think? Uh-oh. Leisure suit guy in the open. Oh, that was bad. Oh, I almost forgot about her. Uh-oh. Shot while reloading. That'll teach you to have sex with Robert Zadar. They should have done more with the dying scene, though, you know? She was a big part of the movie. Oh, now we know Robert is serious. He's got the Gold's Gym spaghetti strap t-shirt on. Okay, cat and mouse now with one other guy. He's got one other guy with him. Yeah, you know why? You have to have somebody for Frank to kill. But now, I don't know why they had like this whole gun battle, and then Robert Zadar wasn't on the premises. He's like coming late. And, oh, now the cops are in the house, or Frank's in the house. Joe is still outside. Raging gun battle. Blam, blam, blam. Wondering how many rounds of ammo they used in this whole movie. The movie really has a cast of thousands. Eerie silence.
Go get my sword. Hey, Joe!
Go get my
So they call
sword.
you Samurai. Let's see how good you are with a sword.
And now he
Super
taunts
Cop.
the samurai cop. It's time for the battle of the swords.
Come on,
They
try
just
me.
stop shooting and go to the swords. Let's go to the swords. You know, first Frank has to kill somebody, though, so that only Joe and Robert Zadar are left alive. Well, Frank can be alive. But fortunately for Joe, there's a sword available. Oh, now we know why they had that guy in the movie. Why the guy walked out into the clearing and faced 2 guns with a sword. Because they had to have a sword for that he could take off the dead man later, and they line up for the Battle of the Titans. More Monty Python stuff here. I love this stuff with the swords. They creep toward each other. These expressions. This is a great long shot. They twirl the swords. They speeded up the film again. You turkey. He doesn't twirl it that. Robert Zadar has those beefy biceps. He can't really twirl that well. I would say the style of fighting here is definitely from the Muromachi period of samurai, perhaps 15th century. Although there are a few moves that Robert Zadar uses that seem to be from the Azuchi Momoyama period. Definitely some Toyotomi Hideyoshi action. But the reason Samurai Cop has to win, though, well, besides the fact that the title of the movie is Samurai Cop, is that his style is more pure Kamakura from the original Samurai. He's not subject to the later, more corrupt styles. Now, that particular move there, for example, the headbutt, post-1868, very watered-down samurai, but easily answered by painful eye gouging. See? And right here, these moves, that's like circa 1972 Bruce Lee Enter the Dragon move right there, but... Oh, they're back to the swords. They threw away the swords, now they're back to the swords. And so, yeah, that's more samurai. You got to do it with the swords. See, for a while there, they got into the Hong Kong explosion. But this is good. Nope, lost the swords again. See, one of the samurai's constant problems is that the sword becomes too damn slippery with sweat. So you end up doing things like, you know, wrestling around, breaking each other's necks, doing armholes. Oh, there was that crack that I like to hear. Here's the big line.
You lost. You lost face.
See, he said, you lost face. Robert Zadar is known as the face.
Of the Bushido.
He said the face lost face. Get it?
Kill me.
He can't lose face, actually. He's the face. And so, of course, he has to be killed Bushido style.
No, Joe, you're a cop.
Frank doesn't like it. Yeah, but he's a cop, but he's a samurai cop. That would have been okay. So what does Robert Zadar do? He has to commit harikiri himself.
What is he doing?
And of course, Frank wants to intervene. Frank's never heard of harikiri.
He's a samurai.
That's
He wants to die with honor.
So they let him die with honor. And now I guess the movie is over. But of course it can't be over until one more thing happens. The samurai cop goes to the beach. And of course, who would he go to the beach with? Jennifer. They're back in their bikinis again. And yes, he's still fish kissing her. Gay guy, I'm telling you. Look. Ah. Fish kiss. He's afraid of her. My God. Look at this shot. Tell me the movie's not going to end this way. Samurai Cop, I got a question for you. What about Peggy? Remember Peggy? She got her private parts all burned up. You don't even remember her, do you? Yeah, that's the way they're going to end this. The wave crashing in. Well, there you have it. Now I ask you, though, which is the better movie? Samurai Cop or Last Samurai. I rest my case. I'm Joe Bob Briggs, and I know this one was tough. I know it, but it's a part of our drive-in heritage, and we have to respect it for what it is. One of the best movies ever made for $900. So I thank you. The Samurai Cop thanks you. Matt Hannon, where are you? Matt Hannon, we couldn't find you. So I hope wherever you are, you're having a fish-kissing grand time. Go to San Francisco, get married. We love you, man.